Oh, such an exhausting day of doing nothing. So exhausting doing nothing. I love doing nothing, because from nothing comes everything. And I have no problem trolling everyone, and making everyone feel like a disgusting bald fatty, because I myself am a bald fatty. But when I'm dating a woman that's a bald fatty, then I know I've gone astray, and I must block and pray. Cut the fat, let it go, drink Diet Coke. Hello? 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 Trump to Earth! Trump to Earth! SOS Emergency Broadcast System! This is Trump's house, Diet Coke, letting go of the fat. Praying for your healthy return from the soda pop world. No more diabetes in paradise. No more diabetes on the plantation. I mean off of the plantation of Diet Coke, the Diet Coke plantation. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Why are you here? What are you people doing here? I love freeing up my schedule from fatties. It's my favorite thing to do. Free yourself from the fatty. Free Willy. Oh, Stock is here, the stock bully. Can't get you fixed in your room, eh, Stock? Gotta come down to people's room to get your clown house fixed now, eh? Enough Bitcoin conversations to last 10 lifetimes, fatties. How many times are you gonna tell each other about your disgusting wives and your stupid kids? Your stupid dry cleaning and what you had for dinner last night, you fat, disgusting fucks. All you Bitcoin clown house investors make me wanna puke. Filthy, vile, detestable human beings. Get a life, fatty, and go to the gym. Welcome back. This is Trump's house. This is Diet Coke, letting go of the fat. This is your good friend, Trump, aka Mr. President. I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you come again. I know that you're going to come because your room is boring, and you'd prefer if Trump was there to spice things up a little bit. And that's why you're here listening to me right now as I delight your ears and tickle your anus. Fancy your pickles. Good luck on that next trade. Hope you hit it big. Hope you get it. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm out of the stock market. I could give two fucks about it. Don't ever give a fuck about it. Never gave a fuck about it. It's for losers. It's for the slaves. Free yourself and free your mind from the stock market. Hypnosis time. Your retirement is now. Freedom is now. This is your president who should be dead right now. My name is Donald Trump, a trans faggot working for the FBI. Tried to blow my head off with a rifle, but he missed because he was a faggot. And faggots don't know how to shoot, and faggots don't know about Kentucky windage. Okay. I really hate drinking out of plastic. I feel like you're drinking plastic all the time. That's why I drink Mexican Coca-Cola. Better sugar, better bottles. It's delicious. I love it. I only drink the Mexican Coca-Cola bottles. I don't ever drink anything else but the Coca-Cola from Mexico. I don't drink from plastic. Trump doesn't drink from plastic bottles. Trump only drinks from Mexican Coca-Cola bottles with the real sugar cane. The sugar cane is the only cane, the best sugar ever made. All right, Stock Bully, I don't really have anything else to say to you. I mean, I know you like to consider yourself the Pink Panther, but you're probably like a 400-pound guy sitting in an apartment, something like that, I don't know. Go to the gym and vote Trump, fatty. Years and years of work to set myself free. And one day soon, I will have to return to the workforce. Perhaps. Perhaps. Years and years of work to set myself free, and one day soon I will have to return to the workforce. Perhaps. Return to the workforce. Perhaps. Okay, this is called To Melania, My Darling Wife. Melania is having a special book and movie and all this stuff coming out in the fall about her glamorous lifestyle as the Don's wife. It's a big business opportunity for her. She's hoping to make, 10, 20, 30, 900 million. Who knows how much she'll sell, but it's a memoir. It's her interpretation of America, which is going to be crazy to read. So let me get the link. This is called Melania Trump's Memoir. So this is like my attempt basically at doing Trump 24/7. To Melania, my darling wife. Let me see if I can get like a cooler Trump photo or something. Superstar underpass food tent where you are. Ghetto superstar underpass food tent where you are. Oh no, Gene Hackman died. So we're gonna try to play some. It's kind of true. Black people are hanging out to a word and using a word to police emotions like all the time. It's ridiculous. Welcome, Angel. Welcome to Melania, my darling wife. This is your president. This is Donald. This is Trump, Mr. President. Welcome, Angle Kilcher. Mon ami, bonsoir. And no, you don't like the love flattery. It's unattractive. It's not authentic. But you're a beautiful woman, and I grab him by the pussy, so you'll have to deal with sticky fingers, whether you like it or not. You're gonna get fingered.
This is Master Sergeant Ashraf al-Bahiri.
A lot of applauses yesterday with Benjamin Netanyahu. Pretty amazing. Okay, so we're gonna do the Shema. This is a message for my darling wife. I love you, Melania. You make my heart glow red with fire when I think of you. And I love your sweet caresses and your soft, beautiful touches, your beautiful lips, and how wonderful you smell, and how sweet you are, and how polite you are, and how wonderful you are, Melania. In every way possible, you complete me, my love. You complete me. I love you, Melania. Let's free America and make America great again, baby. Thank you, Melania. I love you. This song is for you. Oh, Melania, my darling dear. Oh, let's make America great again. We're gonna do it all over again, my dear. This is a song to my love, Melania. I am not a queer. Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shimmer. Andrew Tate? How'd you know? I took over Andrew Tate's body in 2023, and I freed myself from the Romanian authorities. She was gonna make it. She was gonna make it. She was gonna make it.
Lord of the stars, for thee hear me, Lord of the stars, for thee I have worshipped ever with stains and sorrows and scars, with joyful endeavor. Hear me, O lily-white goat, O crisp as a thicket of thorns, with a collar of gold for thy throat, a scarlet bough for thy thorns. Here, in the dusty air, I build thee a shrine of you. All green is the garland I wear, but I feed it with blood for dew. After the orange bars that rid the green west dying are dead, O Lord of the stars, I come to thee, crying. The ambrosial moon that arose with breasts slow heaving in splendor drops wine from her infinite snows, ineffably, utterly tender. Hear me, Lord of the stars. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he blew our mind. Oh, I used to say I would never fall in love again until I found her. I said I would never fall in love like a snowboard.
Amazing how basically everything was great in like 1918. Right before World War II, shit was really good. And then shit got crazy. Because there's no such thing as World War I, World War II. There's just like the World War. Man, somebody called me 4 times 1 minute ago. Jesus. They just text me. Hello. Oh, maybe it was the person I blocked. The chick that I just dumped. Big fatty with a bald spot. Welcome, Lania Case, to Melania, my darling wife. I love Melania. She's my wife. She's my angel. Without her, I would have nothing, and Barrett is the pride of my life. I've never been happier as a husband, as a father than I am right now, because I am so proud of all my children, including my deceased wife, the beautiful and the famous Zsa Zsa Gabor. And of course, my beautiful Illuminati princess that I met at an Eyes Wide Shut party, Melania. She was an incredible street hooker. She knew Kamala. They worked together at a brothel in New York and LA. It's where I met Melania, my darling. Anyways, What's important is that I finally got a good deal for her so I can get her off my fucking back. I don't have to pay her any alimony. She agreed, this stupid bitch, to a memoir. A memoir. And I'm more than happy to announce that you can click above and learn more about Melania's memoir. I want to thank you all for coming to Melania, my darling wife, here in Clown House. This is Trump's house. And I want to thank Joe Armenia and Paul the Faggot for putting this all together for me to come here so I control you. Real time on behalf of MAGA Trump. Finally, I also want to just say a couple other words again to my son, Baron. Baron, what's important is that you realize your mother was a whore. But I bred that whore and I made you, son. You're not a bastard. You're the son of a king. But sometimes we need concubines. And that's exactly what Melania was. We used her uterus to make you, Baron. Welcome, Summer. Welcome to Melania, my darling wife. This is your president, Mr. Trump. You can call me Mr. President. This is Trump. Summer, welcome to my house, to Trump's house. How are you? Are you voting for me? I want to know, are you going to vote for me this year?
I just want to tell you, I am really sorry for what happened to your ears. It just sounds very,
It's very sweet of you to say, darling. I love you. You're so considerate. What a sweetheart. I'll be thinking of you in my prayers tonight, Summer. Is there anything you want to wish for from Papa Claus, Trump?
well, I just wish you luck because, like, that bullet, instead of shooting you, it actually killed mine. Wow.
From your lips to God's ears, Summer. Oh, Summer, is there anything you want for yourself? You're such a selfless person. Is there anything I can do for you, Summer?
Yes, I want a house and I want, like, a lot of money.
You want a house and a lot of money? Well, you're in the right house for that. This is Trump House. We're rich, bitch.
I can see, actually. So how's your ears going on? Can you hear with them or, like, you went blind or something?
Is someone speaking to me?
Yes.
Hello? 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 I'm having a little trouble with my hearing. Anyways, Melania, my darling wife, one more little memento to you and our beautiful son, Baron. I just want you to check all the calls coming in and out of the house. Whoever sets up that meeting with Ralph Nader, he's the traitor. Don't forget Tammy Duckworth and 100 other traitors. We're gonna have to do a Michael Corleone. Take them all out at the rotunda. Something big. Something bigger than a little ketchup package on my ear. Anyways, I didn't want this for you, Melania. I wanted you to be Senator Melania. I don't know, Governor Melania. But I'm so proud of you as the first wife, first American woman to run this country at my side with absolute trust and faith in their husband. Love you, Melania. I love you too, Angel. You're so sexy. What a beautiful woman. Don't be insulted if I grab you by your pussy. Oh, I love you, darling. Oh, hello, Iomi Kuhn. Hello, OJ. If you want to come up and say anything to my beautiful wife, Melania, please. Now would be the time, because my time is limited. Because time is money, and I've got an event to go to sponsor a new soda seltzer water that I've endorsed called Hardly Water. That's right, Trump for Hardly Water at Landon Twins. You can look it all up. It's all on the interwebs. So anything you want to say, Angel, before I close this beautiful house to Melania, my darling wife? Johnny, oh, Johnny's here. Naughty little Johnny. Johnny wants to say something to his president. Hello, Johnny.
Hello. We love Melania. She was our favorite prostitute in Europe.
Well, she's my prostitute now. How dare you speak about my wife like that? You little bastard. You foul-mouthed little critter. Go back to the hole you crawled out of. You make me sick. You make me sick, Johnny. You're a disgusting clown house user, Johnny. How dare you come in here and insult my wife and call her a prostitute? I'm going to send the Department of Homeland Security to your IP address when I get elected and have you picked up for vagrancy. Go back to your hole, you little critter. Get out of here. Get lost. You're done, Johnny. You're finished. Yeah, I can't even hear you, Johnny. You're broke. You're in the Matrix. You got no high-speed internet. You're pathetic. Get a life. Go back to mommy. Go back to mommy. Go to mommy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Go back to mommy. Go back to mommy, Johnny. All right, everybody. This is a message to my wife, Melania, my darling wife. Oh, my baby, I love you. You still make my dick hard when I think of you. Oh, fuck, Johnny wants to say something again. I told the Secret Service to get you out of here, Johnny. What do you want to say?
I can't be imitated. I'm the real Donald Trump. You're just a fake Mexican named Pedro who works at the Home Depot. They tried to take me out, but the bullets got out of the way. Because I got superpowers.
Johnny, you make me sick. Go back to your hole, you little critter.
I'm going back to Mexico to get...
Back to hell, demon. Back to hell where you belong, you vile goo creature. Foul-mouthed little Johnny. Go back to your hole, critter. Perhaps.
When the sawdust settles and the engine finally roars, the thing you care about most is a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe no matter what you're working on, you need high-quality tools at a great price. And that's what we're all about.
Harbor Freight. Yeah, that's part of my campaign ad, everybody, because I love America. Rebuild your houses, take out loans, rebuild America. That's what Trump's all about. Let's make this bitch great again. It's my Jewish people. Take out your shofars, voters. Vote Trump. Take your little party hats and your big trumpets out and vote Trump, my fellow Jews. This is your good friend and president, Donald Trump. I love you, Melania. Okay, Melania, just a couple more words to you, my darling, my dear, my soul, my life. Every day, every breath I take, I think of you, Melania. I love you, my Melania. My darling dear. This time next year, Melania, we will be ruling America! My darling wife, the future is ours. Rabbeinu Shalom, Melania. You're king and conqueror, Donnie. In the bedroom and at the boardroom and in the halls of Congress and at the White House where we've made sweet love 100 times, Melania. In the Abraham Lincoln wing, in the White House Oval Office, I spread your Illuminati thighs apart. My darling Melania, you're the sweetest woman I've ever married. Woo! Okay, we're going to switch up his comedy routine.
You always get what you want.
You always get what you want.
Invariably.
Invariably.
Even though you may think that it's entirely opposed to your wishes. But if it's your karma, everything that happens to you, put it in another way, everything that comes to you is a return to you of what goes out of you. Yes, obviously, that's absurd. If you confine the definition of yourself to your voluntary, conscious behavior, that's a ridiculous definition of oneself. Oneself, by any stretch of the imagination, must involve far more than the conscious and voluntary aspects of our behavior. And if we see that it involves intimately and inescapably the behavior of what we call the other, the not-self, the environment, and see that these two are moving together like the two sides of the snake when it swims, then you get a very curious feeling. You have to be careful of it if you've got a Western background. Because this is what happens to a lot of people who play around with psychedelic chemicals. There are many, many cases of inflation among these people. That is to say, when you get this sensation that the two sides of the world, the inside and the outside, are moving together, you may think, I am ruling it. I am God in the Western sense of the word. Therefore, your ego, instead of being, as it were, integrated and transcended with all this process, merely assumes vast dimensions, has megalomania, is blown up by the mystical experience. And so you get the holier-than-thou people going around who seem to think that they're above all human conventions and have no obligations to anyone or anything because they're divine and they can do as they damn please. What they haven't realized is that doing as you will isn't a new kind of behavior that you suddenly put on and say, from now on I'm going to go around doing as I will. You have to realize first that that's what you've always been doing. And you can look at this from a very simple point of view. It's not a complete point of view, but you can say, well, now what about the people who did good and who did the things that they didn't want to do? You know, everybody's mother said to us, darling, sometimes we have to do things we don't like. What about that? Well, you can always say, the kid obeyed the mother and did the thing that he didn't like because that was the better part of wisdom. In other words, if he hadn't done that, something worse would have happened. And we choose the lesser of two evils. And when you find yourself in a situation where you have to choose the lesser of two evils, then you say, I want out of here. You take the easiest way. You take the line of least resistance. So that's your doing. Now, you can pursue that more profoundly when you stop thinking about human behavior as something that responds to the compulsion of an environment. And you can get out of that when you see the behavior of the environment as an essential aspect of you. So it isn't, as it were, the environment starting something, which you are therefore compelled to follow. It's the whole system moving together. So then, you get in the state of liberated or mystical consciousness, you very often feel that a hill is lifting you up as you walk up it. The ground seems to heave beneath your feet, and up you go. And you get this strange feeling of lightness, of effortlessness. Walking on air, never a care, This wonderful sense that there are no obstructions anywhere. There's nothing, as it were, banging you and making you do that. It all flows together. That's a very common sense. You are actually, in that state of consciousness, you are perceiving the goings-on, the Tao, the course of nature, in the way it's happening. But in the ordinary way, you've been conditioned to resist it, to fight it, and to use those sensations of resistance to create a sensory basis for what you describe as the ego. The ego, in practice, is a sense of strain. When you are aware of I, you are aware of a basic discomfort, which is located basically between the eyes, somewhere in here, a sort of tightness. Also, it's in other centers too, it's in the solar plexus, and there are various physical centers, in other words, where this constant tension or resistance against it is going on. And that's what you feel when you talk about I. When that tension ceases, you discover immediately that the separate ego has disappeared, and that what I refers to is simply the total panorama of experience, everything that's happening. That's I. And obviously I don't know all of it, because I can't inspect all of it with my radar, with my conscious attention. That would be a ridiculous undertaking, to know everything in that sense. We know it in a much better way, as we know how to grow hair and open and close our hands. So, this point of view can be understood if we clarify the initial problems we have about it. And I suppose the first problem is
Today, the agenda is actually pretty simple. Okay, we've got like 3 things we're going to do. I'm going to talk a little bit about fractional acquisitions and how I've been able to build some wealth that way. Warren Clapp is going to come up and talk about the game of money, which is really, if you peel it back, it's really all about engineering your deal in order to raise around it, and like what are the variables that go into that. And then we're going to do this big deal drop that like is an investment. Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm not going to make you wait like an hour to get to the deal. I'm going to give you a little bit of info right now, because like this is the thing we all want to see. Okay, so if you don't know, this is Warren Clapp. Okay, best-selling author, pitch anything, flip the script. And the thing is that he's doing what a lot of us should be doing, which is going out and finding a deal. Okay. So the big secret here is that Warren Clapp is actually the sponsor, the founder of the deal that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, and what he did was, he went out and found this 1.5 million square foot facility in Italy. Okay, in Italy. And these guys have a technology that we desperately need here in the United States, as you'll find out in a minute. They speak Italian. There's a language barrier. This is like a small town in Italy. This isn't like Rome. They don't speak English. Okay, so there's a barrier here. They have no clue how to get into the capital markets in the United States. They have no clue how to raise money around expanding in here, and they've got no boots on the ground. They've got nobody here that knows how to actually open a facility and and make this business work. Okay, that's what we're talking about. But is there a market? Yep. Okay, here's the thing. It's engineered stone. We'll get into the applications in a bit. But this is the trends of the industry. And so this blue line is natural stone, okay? That's the demand for natural stone. This green line is the existing demand that exists for the product in which we're talking about. There's one company in Italy that owns over 95% of the entire global market. They supply all of the manufacturers, and this is our partner in this deal. Okay? Now the thing is that like the demand in the United States alone domestically is 200 million square feet. But we can only produce 55 million right now. And the demand far exceeds the supply. I want to be very clear. The goal of this deal, okay, is to build a $1 billion asset in like a few years. Okay? So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So, here's basically the forecast, right? So you've got, revenue and EBITDA, okay? And the plan is to go public in a couple of years and then work up to a $60 million EBITDA business, okay? And when you look at market comps for this type of business, it's, like every numbers that you're ever going to see, like these are conservative, right? But the thing is, it's like this does not take an absurd multiple in the public markets in order to hit $1 billion in value, okay? So the thing is this product actually solves two huge problems that have been in this industry since its origination. All right, and it unlocks direct access into 150 million target book of orders. This is not a pre-revenue company, guys. We've got purchase orders. We have 11 million in purchase orders, and I talked directly with the customer that placed the orders and understand the impact that he's expecting this to have in his business, effectively doubling his business here in the States. Okay, so here's what I'm going to talk about today, which is how to build wealth with fractional acquisitions, all right? So, okay, at the turn of the millennium, like in the year 2000, okay, I graduated with my undergrad at the University of Kansas, and I had a double degree in religious studies and English literature. So I did what anyone would do, and I went to work for one of the largest financial institutions in the world. Oh, no. Yeah, Charles Schwab. I worked at Charles Schwab, okay? And, I went out and I got licensed, I got my Series 7, and, I did all the things, and I learned about the public markets, and my job was basically to talk to retail investors about asset allocation, right? So you ask them some questions, you figure out their risk profile, you figure out their horizon, and then you give them advice around, okay, look, there's some combination of domestic equities and international equities and, bonds and all this other stuff. Okay? One of the first books I read around that time was by our founder, okay? The Guide to Financial Independence. What I loved about this book was he introduced a concept that just stayed with me to this day. And the concept is this. Here's the deal. You're born, okay? You're born. You live, and ultimately, you die, right? But here's the thing. When you save a single dollar, $1, it's the last dollar that you're going to spend. And as you save money, you are saving towards where you are in time. And when these two things collide, you end up with the magical financial independence moment. Okay? Okay, so why should you listen to me? My name's Walker Dybel. I've acquired 8 companies outright. I'm a minority in almost 24 more. I've got 3 startups, 3 exits, a founder of Acquisition Lab. I've been inside, personally inside, over 100 deals at this point, right? We've got, I'm a partner at Quiet Light. I've helped people exit. I taught entrepreneurship through acquisition at the Olin School of Business, and I've been published in all these places, so I've been doing this, right? I wrote the best-selling book of small business acquisitions back in 2018, and I bought a printing company, and then I took the proceeds from that exit and a whole bunch of personally guaranteed SBA loans, and I bought a distribution company. I bought a manufacturing company. I bought a finishing company, okay? I bought an e-commerce company. I sell toilets online. It's the Right? So, okay, we also started Acquisition Lab where we've got, over 200 million in member acquisitions, okay? We get no kickbacks from suppliers. We take no equity. I do not invest in them. It simply is like buyers working with buyers. That's it, okay? We're economically aligned, and that was engineered on purpose from the beginning, okay? And here's the thing. What we're talking about with these fractional acquisitions, I need to tell you, I've created now an equal amount of wealth on paper with this strategy I'm sharing today as I have with buying and building my own companies, okay? The big concept I want you guys to take away is these strategies complement each other. This is not an either or, okay? All right, so where were we? Financial independence, right? Okay, so I'm sold on this idea. I'm doing it. I'm going all in. I'm an aggressive saver, okay? So here's how my first decade went, all right? So I graduated in 2000. I made my first investment in the public markets at the tail end of 1999. All right, it was like all the money I had, just put it in the NASDAQ. And then we went right into the lost decade. Okay, what's the lost decade? The S&P 500 was negative for the decade. The NASDAQ was negative for the decade, okay? You're talking to a guy right out of college. I was probably making $30,000 after tax. Being an aggressive saver, I was saving like 20%. I was living on like $19,000 a year, plugging all my money into this deal. Sorry, into the stock market, right? And this is what happened, right? So let me just, I want to put my life on this slide for you as represented by the stock market. Okay, so right here, I get laid off from Charles Schwab with 6,000 other people in the same day. 6,000 people, okay? I did my first startup, which completely failed, right? Then I got my MBA, and I did my first acquisition about here, right? So it's right about here where I've got this big loan, this big personally guaranteed loan, and my stock portfolio that I'm like aggressively saving. Anyone know what this is? It's a goose egg, right? My financial independence score at the end of the decade was like 0, right? It took until like 2013 for the market to actually start acting normally, right? So I had this sort of realization, which was like, okay, I've been sold on the long haul, like retirement thing, right? And at the same time, even though like the market was doing all this stuff, like there was so much action going on. Facebook launched in 2004, YouTube launched in 2005, the iPhone came out in 2007. The market's doing nothing. All I know at this point is like, look, you guys know this about me. It's like, look, if you're gonna make any real money, like you really need to start a business, right? But everyone in this room knows the problem. There's a little problem with startups, and that's that like they completely fail, right? Like 90% of them fail. If you talk to actual entrepreneurs, they're like, no, it's way higher than that.
If we accept the notion that everything that happens to us is our own karma, our own doing, then we have to be very careful of, shall we say, the devil of omnipotence, of inflation, of feeling that your ego is what is in control of all this. And the second thing is